The Pittsburgh Steelers are in serious trouble because of this news that came out today. The Steelers are cooked, though, and the Steelers are cooked because Aaron Rodgers is taking them for a ride. Aaron Rodgers, it was rumored yesterday that he was considering retirement, and he was leaning towards retirement, and that the likely outcome of his decision was going to be retirement. And, of course, Aaron Rodgers has to control the narrative by showing up on Pat McAfee's show and saying he hasn't made a decision. And the quote from the Pat McAfee show that caught my attention: "I'm open to anything and attached to nothing." Oh, thanks, Aaron.
Nice.
Retirement should still be a possibility, but right now my focus has been and will continue to be on my personal life. And that's what I've told the coaches. There's still conversations that are being had. It's all been very honest lines of communication. He referenced that he's been dealing with some things in his personal life. I don't know if it's actual real issues in his personal life or if he's just in a mood. Who knows what it is? But all I can help but feel, Sean, is that the Steelers are screwed. They don't have any options. I guess maybe you draft Jackson Dart and get another Kenny Pickett. Do you draft Jalen Milroe and you just, run the damn ball? Or are we going to trot out Mason Rudolph and think that we're going to get to a playoff with Mason Rudolph? I think that the very clear indication and the answer to that question is freaking no. If you had Russell Wilson and Justin Fields, which are great starting options, and you couldn't get a win in the playoffs, you guys are going to be screwed this upcoming season.
They need to make the decision that's going to be least disrespectful to their fans, because this whole saga is embarrassing. They have really not conducted themselves in a Steelers manner. I expected a lot more of them during this offseason. So whatever that most respectful fashion decision would be, and that could be a cop-out Jackson Dart pick. It could be a Project Jalen Milroe pick. I don't think it's Rodgers at this point. So whatever you could do to keep those fans, at least try to trick them. At least try to do something to imply that you're going to have an offense that can move the ball down the field. I don't get why they got rid of Russell Wilson. You might as well just have kept him. Now you have egg on your face. I'm so unused to seeing the Steelers being the team with egg on their face. I'm not used to it. It's rare. So yeah, I trade up would disrespect the fans. Drafting the fifth best quarterback in the draft would be disrespecting everybody. Yeah, it's Rodgers, which is also almost a bit of a spit in the face because he's just been jerking you around this whole offseason right before the draft. A week away from the draft, literally, and you still don't know. You can't have that happen. They need to make a decision quickly. Rodgers is so fascinating, though. I'm the quote that grabbed me from his appearance today was him detailing the meeting he had with Aaron Glenn in New York, where he had to mention, and I for some reason I love this. He had to mention that he flew himself out to meet with the Jets on his own dime. Here's something I'm going to say. Here's something I'm going to say to you, Aaron Rodgers. If you're a 4-time NFL MVP, a Super Bowl champion, described as one of the baddest quarterbacks to ever walk the earth, you can never, ever pull the on my own dime card to anyone. You weren't playing in the 70s where these quarterbacks were getting paid $20,000 a year, and that was good. You're getting paid millions and millions and millions of dollars. You got paid $50 million by the Jets. You played 19 games, maybe 18 and a quarter. You're not allowed to be cheap. You're not allowed to.
Wait, I would. So here's where my head immediately went with that. Not that he's complaining about having to pay the money. If you are being told, hey, you have to pay for your own flight to fly out here, you don't go. Don't go. You are already not the one with the power in this relationship. You are at the disadvantage. You have been told that we don't want you so bad that, hey man, if you want to come and talk to us, fine. Like whatever the hell, we don't care. They weren't going to bring you back, bro. Like that one should have been red flag number one. He just admitted to everybody that he was in a way bamboozled. He was in a way manipulated. I said it right that time. He was manipulated into showing up. It's. I was going to use a dumb analogy. I'm going to cut myself off. I keep using dating analogies.
Sure.
I love using dating analogies when talking about quarterbacks.
I don't mind it.
It's very easy. Well, it's
people
like
can relate.
It's like asking a girl to pay for an Uber at 3:00 in the morning to come over.
Have done it.
You've asked a girl to pay for her own Uber. Yeah. You didn't offer to pay for the Uber.
Scumbag move. Yeah, for sure.
You're a piece of shit. Yeah. We'll talk about that another day.
Multiple times.
Yeah. Oh no. With the same girl?
Multiple girls.
Okay,
I've also driven him home. I've also driven others home before. It's all it varies.
Wait. Okay, so was it to come to you, or were you told them to call their own Uber to leave?
Ubered to me, Ubered back on their own time.
Gee, I wonder why Sean hasn't gotten laid since he moved into this apartment. You're a piece of shit. Yeah. Oh my God. Well, this is my whole point.
That stops working eventually, and we have to
I wish they had self-respect. I wish those girls had a little self-respect to not show up for your dumpy ass to pay to come hang out with you and then pay to leave.
Rough scene.
Yeah, that's not good. But that's the whole point, is that it's the same dynamic where it's like, hey, if you want to come, you have to pay to show up to talk to me.
Here's the other angle. I'm not putting it past Aaron Rodgers for him to have had a layover in New York and had a pit stop and said, I'll meet with the Jets, then I'll go to Nashville, or I'll just knock this out. Like, him saying that, like, there's no truth to it, in my opinion. Like, there's no way that Aaron Rodgers really feels like he got slighted. I think he said, we'll meet in person. That's fine. I got to go back to the East Coast anyways. We'll knock this out. Dap, quick. We'll get the answer anyways, and I'll be back on my merry way. I'm not falling for the woe is me. He pulled me out of my home while I was training and rehabbing with my hurt Achilles, and I had to go meet him on a flight. And guess what? I was in economy plus, and I couldn't get business. No, of course it was first class. Of course it was probably not even a commercial airline jet that he flew on. So I'm not letting him paint this as the Jets did me dirty. Now, the Jets did him cold in the meeting, where Aaron Glenn, within 20 seconds of the meeting, as Rodgers described it, Rodgers said Glenn left, came back in with the GM, and then 20 seconds later, Aaron Glenn asked him, do you still want to do this football thing? Rodgers said yes. Glenn says, we're going to make a different move at quarterback. Meeting over. So he got done cold.
They asked him the question. Again, we keep coming back to dating analogies. I have a buddy of mine who this is exactly what remind me of this. Buddy of mine gave an ultimatum to his girlfriend that he's currently seeing because he's moving to a new city for a job in short time. Okay.
Okay.
So he gave the ultimatum of, like, if you want to keep dating me, you got to move to this new city. Okay. Fully expecting that was going to end the relationship. She was all in. She was all ready to go. Now he's regretting asking that question and providing that ultimatum because he wasn't expecting that answer. It's the same shit. They weren't expecting to get that answer. Do you still want to do this football thing? Hell yeah, I do. Yeah, no, we still don't want you.
Yeah, that's a tough scene. I think they were expecting it at worst. I'm considering it.
Right. They could have pulled on him. Oh, you don't sound that invested, and we need to go with somebody who's invested. So he gives the really invested response, and then you just have to stone cold be like, yeah, we still don't want you.
They didn't phrase it, though, in a way to give him that out. They said, do you still want to do football? Where if you are a 4-time MVP, Super Bowl champion, that's kind of ingrained, hardwired in your brain to still want to do football, still want to play. Brady would say the same thing. Elway would say the same thing. I still want to, but I can't. That's what they would say. Giving Rodgers that option, the egomaniac that he is, it's an exercise in futility to think that he would say anything but, yeah, pay me some more money. I'll go out there and sling that rock.